Chapter 4, Part 2. While it's great that others are flourishing and succeeding, they have their own path that's completely separate from yours. What good does comparing your life to someone else's do when you're each doing and want completely different things, and you're on completely different paths? None. Unless those people can help you get to where you are or where you want to be, there is no reason to concern yourself with what they are doing. To take it a step further, who's to say that those whose lives you covet are even doing all of the things they say they're doing, or actually have the things they say they have? It's unfortunate that this point has to be made, but this is the era in which we live. People often fabricate their lives for the sake of being noticed and garnering attention. A lot of people talk about what they are going to do all the time, but you never see results. Don't be that person. As Matthew 7:16 NIV says, "By their fruit you will recognize them." We don't get recognized for all the things we talk about we are going to do. We are recognized by the actions that we carry out and the processes we see all the way through. Think about it. If you personally know people who put on facades, what makes you think they're the people you only know because of social media or YouTube channels or television shows aren't doing the exact same thing? My intent is not to belittle anyone. Like the queen of hip-hop soul Mary J. Blige said, there's no hateration or any holleration in this dancery. I'm all for the glow-up. However, you could possibly be comparing yourself to people who are only putting up a front to make their life seem better than it really is. Unconsciously, you may be coveting a quality of life that's less than the one you're currently living. Comparing yourself and your capabilities to others not only steals the joy that you have within yourself, but it also distracts you from the unique path that's in front of you. While you're still in the process of figuring out your life or working on the goals you've set for yourself, it may be necessary to delete your social media apps, stop watching channels and shows, or cease talking to certain people so you don't lose focus on your own unique path. Also, so you aren't tempted to compare your walk to others. Protect your path and your vision by any means necessary. In whatever you do, don't let what other people are doing, whether truthfully or dishonestly, distract you from your own unique path and purpose. Now, when you find your own lane and set out on your path, do believe that there are going to be a lot of naysayers. Everyone who you encounter is not going to like you. Many are going to be on board with these endeavors you pursue or the movies that you make. Most are not going to celebrate you. They're not going to dap you up. They're not going to shout you out. Shoot, they probably won't even acknowledge that they see what you're doing and instead will critique you and talk about you behind your back. But you know what? Who really cares? Someone else's opinion or approval of you is quite frankly none of your business. Take Russell Westbrook, for example. Westbrook is one of the most unique and unapologetic players in the NBA today. From the interesting fashion decisions he makes to how he interacts so candidly and honestly with reporters and the expressive and explosive way he competes every single game, Russell Westbrook is clearly in a world of his own. In March of 2017, soda brand Mountain Dew premiered a commercial featuring Westbrook. In the commercial, Westbrook runs through a laundry list of things that people tell him not to do. The commercial concludes with him about to perform a motorcycle stunt involving a ramp and a flaming basketball hoop. However, right before he takes off on the motorcycle, he takes a sip of Mountain Dew, of course, and declares, "Don't do they, do you." This do you approach that Westbrook abides by has obviously worked out for him on the court. In the 2016-2017 NBA season, Westbrook became the only player in the NBA history to average a triple-double, at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for an entire season. He broke the long-standing record for the most triple-doubles in a season, and he won the regular season Most Valuable Player award, all while leading his team to the playoffs. Not only that, but he appears to be living his best life off the court as well, with little regard for anything critics or spectators have to say about him. People are going to talk, but the beauty of life is that you have no obligation to listen to anything they say. Embrace the fact that what you do with your life isn't about anyone else. It's about being who you are destined to be, making the most of the time you've been blessed with on this earth, and doing what God placed in your heart to do. Too often, people miss their calling, bypass opportunities, or don't do the things they really want to do simply because of how they think they'll be perceived or what others will say. They fear looking silly or getting the "I told you so" from spectators if things don't necessarily go the way they intentionally envisioned. There is a way to avoid this. Until you accomplish your goal, hold off from talking about it. Make moves, not announcements. When you make announcements, you attract unnecessary attention that may have an adverse effect on your path. Just go after what you want and let the results do the talking for you. Your dream is yours and only yours, no one else's. Be selective of who you want to talk to about your goals or plans. Sometimes it's best to keep things to yourself until you accomplish what it is that you set out to accomplish, because you never know the extent of anyone else's malicious intent. Feedback and good counsel are extremely important and beneficial. None of us have all the answers, but you have to discern whether that criticism is constructive or fruitless. You also have to evaluate the source from which the criticism and advice is coming from. Examine the fruit, then decide whether or not you need to take what they're saying with a grain of salt. It will not benefit you to listen to someone who hasn't done much with his or her life, who cannot help you to get where you want to be. You were put on this earth for a reason. You are blessed with certain abilities and you have interests that are specific to you. You have something to offer the world that has never been seen before. So when you attempt to fit into the box that society has tried to cram you into, you are doing God, yourself, your family, and society a disservice. Don't deprive yourself of your highest and fullest life experience. God created you how you are for a reason. Be comfortable in your own skin. Be unapologetic about who you are. No matter how you may come across to others, stay true to yourself. Don't shrink yourself to fit in. Stand out and shine bright. Block out the unnecessary noise and remain focused on attaining the life you've envisioned for yourself. Remember, most people are not going to understand you because your gifts and your path are unique to you. Mold your natural abilities into skills. Unapologetically go after what you want and become indifferent to negativity voiced by others regarding your affairs. This is your life. Live it the way you want to live it. Pursue what it is you want to pursue and create your own path, despite the irrelevant opinions of others.